Stop scrolling. 2026 and 27 Transatlantic cruises for $94 a night are live. 10 deals, 3 solo steals, and 1 brand new ship under $105 a night. We're starting with the cheapest, and the sleeper pick is number 7.
Hey, I'm Mark.
I'm Monica.
We're also going to share with you our top 10 tips to maximize your experience and value when you take a transatlantic repositioning cruise. Everything that we show you includes the cruise fare, the port fees, the taxes, and yes, also your daily gratuities. All right, so let's start with deal number 1. This is on Holland America. On the new Statendam, this is going to be in spring 2027, April. 13 nights from $98 a day per person on an inside cabin. You can actually jump up to a balcony for just $127 per day. And again, that's per person, per day, and that's virtually all inclusive because you're going to get your food, your entertainment, your room.
And this isn't some old ship. This is Holland's second newest ship.
So think about that deal when you compare that to maybe just a hotel room, or if you're going to go ahead and do a flight, how much that would cost. In this case, you get to be in luxury for 13 nights. And you're going to start from Fort Lauderdale and end up in Rotterdam, which is just outside of Amsterdam. It's a great place to be. This is the perfect one for those of you who are Holland America fans. You get some Netherlands, you get UK. This is really a classic and obviously an amazing deal overall.
I love this because a lot of these do go to Barcelona. Sometimes they go to Rome. It's nice to end up in Netherlands.
Tip number 1, book early, then keep repricing. A lot of people wait and wait. They keep hoping prices go down. It happens every once in a while. We book hundreds of people. It's the exception to the rule. Almost always prices are going up. And even if there is a deal, you tend not to have a lot of choices, or it's a guaranteed cabin, which means you can't pick your cabin. Go ahead and book it. And then if price goes down, we can reprice it. You can set up an alert, check it weekly or bi-weekly. If there is a price reduction, typically the cruise line will honor that either with a price adjustment or onboard credit. If you book through us, we automatically monitor all price reductions and take care of that for you. I almost can guarantee you 9 out of 10 times you're going to look, prices are going to head up and you're going to be really happy you booked when you did.
Then we have deal number 2, Norwegian Pearl. So this one is from Miami to Barcelona, and you have a few really lovely stops like the Azores, Seville, Granada, and Ibiza, and even Mallorca. I love this itinerary. April of 2026, this one was 15 nights.
For a balcony, you're talking just over $150 per day. And Norwegian's also got some solo-specific cabins. So that may be something to consider. One thing we would suggest with Norwegian is consider their More at Sea program, which can get you specialty restaurants. It can get you Wi-Fi.
You get excursion credit.
Yeah, so you can take advantage of your stops in Sevilla, Granada, etc. So it's really well worth it. Almost everybody who books NCL typically will add that. Speaking of solos, one thing you may want to do, I know we have a lot of people on the channel who are solo travelers. We book you all the time. Try to focus on ships that specialize a bit more for solo travelers, meaning they're not going to charge you double if they have solo cabins, studio cabins. Maybe they don't always charge the solo supplement. Those are the ones to look for. Cruise ships that focus more on adults, like Virgin Voyages, for instance, tend to have special deals for solo travelers as well.
The newer Edge class ships from Celebrity have a solo infinite veranda. And those sell out very fast, so that's one to look for on the newer itineraries.
Deal number 3, Holland America, Amsterdam. This one's starting out in Barcelona, ending up in Fort Lauderdale. So what does that mean? In this case, we're going west. You go west in the fall, you go east in the spring. But you could go ahead, for instance, go to Europe, fly over there, spend a couple weeks, and then hop on in Barcelona, and you'll stop in Malaga, Gibraltar, Bermuda, to get a little bit of sun, and then you'll end up in Fort Lauderdale. This is November 2027, 14 nights, amazing deals. Under $150 per day for a balcony. You get the time changes going your way. In the fall, the clock goes back. So you're happier. Spring is a little different. You are setting those clocks forward, but it's just 1 hour per night when it happens.
It does make the jet lag easier. Tip number 3, hunt hidden gem ports. Sometimes you see some of the same places, but occasionally you can find more off the beaten path ports like Madeira, or Tangier in North Africa is just right across the Strait of Gibraltar from Spain, and Cadiz, which is one of the oldest cities in Europe.
Yeah, plus the Azores. So these are sometimes stops you don't get on your typical summer European Mediterranean cruises.
Deal number 4, Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas. This is one that we know well.
We've been on twice, I think.
Twice in 1 year.
2 crossings.
So 2 crossings. So this one goes from Rome to New Jersey. We did this one. And you stop in Florence, Barcelona, Cartagena, Lisbon, and then the Azores, and then go on the way up to New Jersey.
Yeah, fall 2020. Look where you're going. You're going to Florence, Barcelona. You got Lisbon. Cartagena is a really cool port. You also get the Azores and end up in the Northeast. I think it's an amazing itinerary. You can see the pricing there on the screen. Even for solos, it's a pretty good value at $226 per day. Ocean views, really nice deals. This ship's got a lot to offer. It had big ship amenities. I felt it was manageable for a large ship. It never felt too crowded, other than maybe embarkation day and that first buffet. After that, everybody really got spread out. It has a lot of the newer things that come with Quantum Class. So some of the newer restaurants. By the way, a bonus deal. I had to share this one with you. This is a secret extra deal. This is on a brand new ship that isn't even launched yet. It's one of the fantastic Icon Class ships from Royal, the largest, the best of the best, the shiniest. There's amazing eating, by the way. There's 20 plus places to eat on Icon Class ships, and it has the reputation now of being the best dining options on any Royal Caribbean ships, the Icon Class. The way to do it is, honestly, these Icon ships are super expensive, except on the crossings. So if you want to do a crossing, we're actually going to do, I think, a crossing on Legend. We're doing this one, actually. So join us on the Legend of the Seas. This is going to be in the fall of 2026. Barcelona back to Florida. It's probably about half price of what you're going to see on virtually any other sailing on Legend of the Seas.
Even though a lot of these royal ships will be full of families and kids, you see less kids on a crossing.
This is the time kids are normally in school, so it's going to be a different kind of crowd. My fourth tip is cabin placement for a few reasons. You can certainly get your best deals if you do a guaranteed cabin, meaning the cruise line will put you in a cabin of their choice. The good news is on crossings, they don't always sell out. So it doesn't mean you're going to get the worst obstructed cabin that's right by the engine room. However, you just don't know. So what we typically suggest, if you have any issues with motion, then you want to put yourself in the middle of the ship. I wouldn't put myself on deck 14 in the front. You're going to definitely get some of that back and forth, possibly. Sometimes pay a little extra, and it's worth it. Now, the great news is most of the sailings we're sharing here are big ships. They handle waves incredibly well. We had 20-foot seas on the Odyssey of the Seas. I felt it a little bit, but really not that much. It was incredible how well the ships handle it. The second thing is the sunshine strategy. We honestly never gave this a lot of thought. We would just look for where we thought the best position was. But we have clients that come to us and really want to be on one side of the ship or other because they're apparently smarter than us. And they've actually thought about where the ports might be or where the sun might be. That's a situation too. If you're eastbound, if you want the sun like that, westbound for the other sun angle, maybe you're the exact opposite. Maybe you don't like that morning sun. So think about it.
Or maybe you want the evening sunsets. Good to think about, depending on which direction you're going. Here's a ship we know very well, the Celebrity Eclipse. This is a Solstice class ship. This one would be coming back next November, 2026 from Barcelona to Fort Lauderdale. It hits a lot of great places like Mallorca, Cartagena, Malaga, Gibraltar, and Bermuda.
November 2026, fantastic deal. Balcony cabin from $140 per day with gratuities per person. Pretty amazing. One thing we highly suggest, most of the people that we book onto Celebrity, these days we have our special all-in package, and that is going to include the beverage package, Wi-Fi, and fully refundable deposits. Important, especially if you're planning way into the future. So with us or your travel advisor, see if they have a special deal on the all-ins. A lot of times it's considerably less than you can find online. That's usually our suggestion. Tip number 5, this is essential. Stack those perks, stack those benefits. What I mean by this is you might get cruise line promotions. Cruise lines are always promoting something. Make sure you're getting those perks, the benefits, whatever they're offering in the moment. If it's a holiday weekend, there's always something. Then if you have loyalty with a cruise line, you're going to get a set of perks. And the more you sail with that cruise line, the better those perks are going to get. They get to be really valuable. They can be huge discounts. They can be free Wi-Fi. There's a lot of things that you can get with loyalty. Stack that on top of the cruise line promos. The next thing is work with a travel advisor. It could be us. It could be somebody else. You'll typically get additional onboard credit. And sometimes travel advisors are part of really large consortiums or very large travel agencies, and they have access to other perks and amenities you can't get elsewhere. And then the last big piece of advice is when you take that transatlantic, book another one on board. It doesn't have to be a transatlantic, but book your next cruise. Why? Because it can be assigned to your travel advisor. They can give you additional benefits. You get the lowest prices from the cruise lines. You're going to get your loyalty benefits. And they're going to tell you that they have some book on board specials. A lot of times it's free extra onboard credit. It's a lower deposit. But yes, you can stack all of that together to get yourself the very best deal overall.
And even if you don't know what your next cruise is, sometimes you can get future cruise credits, make a deposit on a future cruise, and then you can decide later.
We can personally help you with a customized quote for your next transatlantic, your next ocean cruise, river cruise. We provide a lot of advice. It's all free. We can always add free perks, amenities, and onboard credit. You can just go to the link there on the screen or use the QR code. It'll take you there. And that's always a free service from us.
Deal number 6 from Princess. This is on their new Sphere Class Sun Princess. This one goes from Barcelona to Fort Lauderdale, stopping at places like Tenerife, the Canary Islands. We didn't mention those earlier, but that's another place you may potentially stop. This stops in 2 different islands, Tenerife and Lanzarote, and then Madeira, the Garden Island, and then on to Fort Lauderdale. So beautiful itinerary here.
A pretty good solo deal overall, so you're not paying double. As you can see, even balcony on a new ship basically is still under $200 per day, so a tremendous deal. This new Sphere class is a change from the classic Princess experience. It still has enough things to be familiar, but it's definitely a different, more modern take. This is in the fall of 2027, coming back from Europe to Florida. If you can be flexible on direction or week, we can almost always find you the best deal, the more flexible you are. If you're also not set on just one specific ship, maybe you really want to be on Celebrity or you really want to be on Holland America, that's fine because almost all of them will have 4 to 5, maybe 6 different ships going back and forth over a 30-day period. So with a little flexibility, you can almost always find the best deal overall. Flexibility and planning in advance is going to be part of that secret equation to get yourself your best availability as well as the best deal. Speaking of a brand new ship, Celebrity Xcel isn't even sailing yet. It's going to be sailing very soon. You can be one of the first. This is spring 2026. This is going to be a crossing from Florida to Europe so they can do their European season. You all need to get the ship there because we're booked on the Xcel in the spring of 2026 and we want to be on our European cruise. So it's your responsibility to book this and get it to Barcelona for us so we can take our sailing. Trust me, we paid more per night than you're going to pay if you do the Transatlantic once it's in Europe. Balcony cabin, $223, even under $150 a day for ocean view. And this is a brand new experience. It is Edge class, but they're kind of reinventing all the experiences on board, from restaurants to shows. And yes, you can also get all in on this one.
To number 7, almost new can be the best value. So we mentioned earlier the brand new ship strategy. If it's brand new ship that's expensive, like Legend of the Seas, it's the best value way to experience that new ship. Perhaps the Edge class may be a higher price point. You can still have that great celebrity experience by doing their Solstice class ships instead.
Yeah, timing can be everything. You know, sometimes you can find a ship that's been out for a year or two. It's still shiny and new, but it's going to be less. Like if they've released another one in the series, for instance, right, you have Icon on the Seas, but then when they release the next one in the series, Star and then Legend, typically the ones before are going to be a little bit less, even though it's basically the same ship. We see that a lot with Edge and Apex. A lot of times we'll see Beyond and Ascent will be a little bit more than Edge and Apex. They were just the earlier versions of that same ship. Speaking of Edge and Apex, here's the example. This is the second Edge class ship that came out. We've been on Apex multiple times. You've got a cruise coming back in the fall, like we mentioned, always coming back from Europe to Orlando, in this case, Port Canaveral, actually from Southampton. So if you want to leave out of London, this can be really convenient. And it's 13 nights, really nice itinerary. You get some Portugal, you get Vigo, which is a more unusual stop along the way, always the Bermuda touch. In this case, you get Edge class, really modern, really contemporary, great shows. You can get that all-in deal that we mentioned before, and you can see really roughly about $200 per day or less per person to get onto the Apex. By the way, tip number 8, this is upgrading. You can almost always on ships put in a bid to upgrade. What I always tell people is this: when you book and you're thinking, hey, I might want to upgrade, take a note of the pricing when you book, let's say that balcony cabin. Don't book a suite that's going to cost you more than it would have if you just booked it up front. Right? Same thing. Let's say you did ocean view and you're like, you know what? If a balcony and they give me a chance to bid on a balcony, I'm going to do it. Keep it in your notes and say, hey, at that time, balcony was $1,000 higher per person. That means do not bid $1,500. You get excited about the bid and you want to get it. Otherwise, you could have got it originally. Maybe I always say do about 50% of what it would have cost if you just booked it. Then you know you're getting a great deal if you get it. And you know what? If you don't get it, you're cool. Be happy with the cabin that you have. But there's definitely transatlantics that do not go out full. Your odds probably are a little bit higher of possibly being able to do a bid and get yourself into an upgrade. Just be smart about it. Don't overpay. Don't chase it.
Deal number 9, the Norwegian Sun. So this one is going from Miami to Rome for the spring of 2027. The Norwegian Sun going from Miami to Rome and having a stop in the Great Stirrup Cay in Bahamas, the Azores, Lisbon, Palma de Mallorca, Barcelona, Nice, and Florence.
More of a different itinerary than you've seen. And then, of course, you end up in Rome, which is an incredible city or a great launching point for anywhere else you want to go. Norwegian does have solo deals and solo cabins, so we can work with you on that as well. A big tip that we have, tip number 9, is do the one-way flight strategy. This is cheap and simple. Sometimes you can book your flight through the cruise lines. Many times they do have excellent pricing on one way, so they can get you to Europe or back. It's always good to check. I always would compare it against what you could do on your own, because sometimes it's an amazing deal, sometimes it's not. Many of you can use points and miles. If you can do that, that's what we do all the time. We use points and miles. We'll actually put ourselves on a free, except for taxes, business class flight one way, and then we take the cruise ship back, or vice versa. If you're somebody who's done some point hacking, that can be a great strategy as well. Take advantage of being there. Extend the trip. You've saved yourself that flight. I would spend a little bit of time in one of those amazing cities or travel around a little bit and then come back, or vice versa. Don't forget, you're also saving on a flight one way. So yes, you have a nightly rate, but your nightly rate is paying for your food, your hotel, your entertainment, your transportation as well. That's why it's such a spectacular deal. Deal number 10.
Virgin Voyages. This is Scarlet Ladies. Virgin is 18 and up, adults only, so you will not have kids on this one. Miami to Barcelona, stopping in the Canary Islands, Casablanca in Morocco, and Alicante, which is one of our favorite Spanish ports. This was April 2026, 14 nights.
The 2027 sailing, I checked, pretty much equal pricing, which is cool. They haven't raised it a lot with inflation. So an equally good deal if you want to go a year later. You can see there on the screen, amazing pricing. Virgin includes a lot. We already mentioned we're including gratuities, but Virgin includes all of their restaurants. So that's not going to be an extra. They include Wi-Fi as well, basic Wi-Fi. So these prices are pretty spectacular when you think it's virtually all inclusive outside of excursions and alcohol. So if you drink, you pay extra for that, but they even have deals for that where you can buy bar tab in advance. Many times your travel advisor can give you a little bit of free bar tab to get you started.
When you buy bar tab from Virgin, they kick a little bit extra in as well.
Number 10, time zone and onboard hacks. Like we mentioned, westbound's kind of nice. You get to add those hours, so that time gets turned back. We always love those little notes in our cabin that turn your clock back tonight. Eastbound, no, you're going to be going forward a little bit. It's always just 1 hour at a time. For jet lag, Transatlantics are amazing. Think about it this way too. You still will have some port stops. Anytime you have a port stop, and maybe you don't go out or you go out for half the day, if you want to get some really amazing deals on spa specialty dining, almost always on port days, they're the best. But there's another little hack with Transatlantic Cruises, Repositioning Cruises. There's so many sea days that, let's be honest, the cruise lines cannot sell enough people into all the specialty restaurants, all of those open spots in the salon, all those open spots in the spa. They're going to be throwing really great deals at you. We always say book in advance if you can. Go online. The pricings are probably going to be really nice discounts, but even if you don't get everything you wanted, when you are on board, I almost guarantee you'll be able to fill those slots. Somebody's going to come up to you and say, have you done specialty dining? Show a little disinterest, and then the price is going to go down. Start to walk away, say, well, I don't know. The price will go down typically. There's a lot of slots for them to fill on those sea days.
The shops and boutiques are only open when you're at sea. So during sea days, and when you have a lot of sea days, they are really looking for customers. So they're always throwing deals. If you like shopping on board, sea days are great days to be shopping.
I always try to tell Monica that they close the shops.
He tells me,
on
he
sea
tries,
days.
but bless his heart.
But she's watched one of these videos and apparently she knows that's not true. Leave down below. I want to know, have you ever done a transatlantic cruise before? Which one did you do? Did you love it? Maybe not so much. What did you love? If you've got some transatlantics, repositioning cruises booked in the future, we'd love to kind of know where you're at. We want to be excited for you. We also have several planned as well.
We've got one in October on Allure of the Seas.
If you want us to help you with a quote, you got the QR code there and the link. And we also have a pretty incredible free guide you can download. You've got the link there on the screen. So hopefully you got a lot out of this. You're going to go ahead and get yourself thinking about a transatlantic cruise. So with that,
We'll see you out there.
see you out there.